Tawanan, lahat ng iyong all-time hits. Ang tanging huntahan ng Masang Lamaw. Number 1 sa Mega Manila, nationwide pa. Broadcasting from TGON, TVH Group of Networks. Dito lang sa inyong iisang himpilan. Cool FM. You are listening to Cool FM. Live from Cool Studios. This is Cool News at 4.
Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao, good afternoon. This is Cool News at 4. It is now a minute past 4 p.m. Philippine Standard Time. I'm Stephen Lumwanag for today's headlines. Severe tropical storm Enteng, or international name Yagi, is now outside the Philippine area of responsibility and has slightly intensified according to Pag-asa this early Wednesday morning. In its 5 a.m. update, Pag-asa said Enteng was spotted some 265 kilometers west of Lawag City, Ilocos Norte, with maximum sustained winds of 100 kilometers per hour near the center and gustiness of up to 125 kilometers per hour while slowly moving west-northwest. Outside the Pag-asa said outside the PAR region, Enteng will move generally westward until tomorrow, September 5, Thursday, then turn west-northwestward for the remainder of the forecast period. It is forecast to make another landfall in the vicinity of the southern mainland China during the weekend. It added, detailing that the tropical cyclone may also reach its peak intensity by Friday, September 6, prior to making landfall in mainland China. Despite exiting PAR, the State Weather Bureau warned that the southwest monsoon, or habagat, which was enhanced by Enteng, will continue to trigger moderate to intense rainfall in some parts of Luzon, particularly its western portions, over the next 3 days. The habagat will likewise bring strong to gale force gusts over the following areas, especially in coastal and upland areas exposed to winds. On September 4, Ilocos Region, Abra, Benguet, Isabela, Zambales, Bataan, Aurora, Bulacan, Metro Manila, Calabarzon, Mimaropa, Bicol Region, Western Visayas, Negros Island, and Northern Samar. And in September 5, Ilocos Region, Isabela, Zambales, Bataan, Aurora, Bulacan, Metro Manila, Calabarzon, Mimaropa, Bicol Region, Western Visayas, Negros Island, and Northern Samar. 12 people reportedly died and 7 remain missing due to severe tropical storm Enteng, the NDRRMC said. Before exiting the Philippine area of responsibility, the typhoon pummeled most of Luzon and some parts of Visayas, tearing off roofs, uprooting trees, toppling concrete electric poles and street signs, and turning streets into rivers. Of the reported deaths, 7 were in Calabarzon, 2 each in Bicol region and Central Visayas, while the another was in Western Visayas. As for the missing people, all of them were in Bicol. Meanwhile, 11 were hurt during the height of the weather disturbance. A total of 589 houses were damaged, 538 were partially destroyed, while 51 were quote-unquote totally destroyed. The NDRRMC estimated the cost of destruction to infrastructure at 200,000 pesos, while it has yet to give updates on the damage to agriculture. A total of 547,029 individuals in Metro Manila and 6 other regions were affected by the severe storm, with 50,076 staying in 323 evacuation centers. And ladies and gentlemen, Gu Huaping is coming home either Thursday or Friday. But as the Office of the Surgeon at Arms, OSA, of the Senate is guaranteeing the safety of the dismissed Bamban Tarlac mayor once she gets detained and taken into custody by the chamber. Speaking to reporters in an ambush interview on Wednesday, OSAA's retired Lieutenant General Roberto Angcan said they have yet to see any threats that would prompt them to increase their security arrangement. He said Alice or Gu Huaping will most likely share the detention room with Sheila Go, who was earlier identified to be her sister. The retired Lieutenant General said he assures that their safety and will be adding guards 24/7 if they will. Asked what the factor they would consider to double the security guarding the two, Ankan said it would depend on the situation. Go Huaping has an outstanding arrest order from the Senate for refusing to appear despite due notices in the committees on women's hearing on July 10. She has been the subject of scrutiny after the Senate panel on women bared her ties to illegal pogo firm Zunyuan Technology Incorporated in Bamban. Questions about her citizenship were also raised, leading to allegations that she is a Chinese spy, which she vehemently denied. The dismissed Bamban Mayor Go Huaping in Tangerang City, Jakarta, Indonesia at 1:13 a.m. on Wednesday, according to the National Bureau of Investigation and the Department of Justice, citing information from Senior Superintendent Odi Latuhero of the Indonesian Police. After being repatriated back to the Philippines, Angkan said Go Huaping will be processed by the Bureau of Immigration, transferred to the National Bureau of Investigation, then turned over to the Senate, similar to what was done to Sheila. My goodness, good riddance. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. described as immaterial all of the conditions set by the alleged sex offender and false teacher Apollo Kibuloy before he faces the criminal charges filed against him. The president made the pronouncement after Kibuloy previously said he would face the cases, provided that the government issued a written declaration that he would not be extraordinarily rendered to the United States. Marcos said in a chance interview with the journalists or the press, all of these conditions that he is putting in are immaterial. He spoke about the matter while conducting an aerial inspection of Metro Manila to determine the effects of the severe storm Enteng and the southwest monsoon. According to President Ferdinand Marcos Jr., Kibuloy does not seem to understand the process of his arrest, stating that it is the court that should hear what he wants to say. Marcos said it seems like he didn't quite understand the process, that when the court issues a warrant of arrest, then it is out of our hands already. It is in the court's hands. He needs to talk to the court because the only role of the executive now is to arrest him, he explained. Apollo Kibuloy is charged with child abuse cases before a Davao City court. He also has an arrest warrant for human trafficking issued by the Pasig City Court. On top of these cases, Kibuloy is also facing several criminal charges in the United States. These cases include conspiracy to engage in sex trafficking by force, fraud and coercion, and sex trafficking of children, sex trafficking by force, fraud and coercion, conspiracy, as well as bulk cash smuggling. Kibuloy is believed to be hiding within the Kingdom of Jesus Christ compound in Davao City, where he founded his own church, that he self-proclaims himself as the false appointed Son of God. When koolNews at 4 returns, 32 AFP officers gets the nod from the Commission on Appointments. Again, from President Ferdinand Marcos, no politics in the OVP budget deliberations. He also denies that he is ill. He asks, "Do I look sick?" Commission on Audit has ordered the Department of Education to immediately remit to the government some 12.3 billion from its 2023 budget that was suspended and disallowed due to the agency's failure to adhere to certain bidding processes and meet its targets for various projects. They said, return the misused budget. And for Showbiz News, Chris Aquino shows the jolly self, making the mention of his return to the Philippines. This is koolNews at 4 when we return after a short break. My my mic is broken again. And for some satire news, it is now 4:17 p.m. Ganda Wanda from Yes FM is is being dated by Foden Fan Group of Companies. But the CEO of Foden Fan Group of Companies, he is trying to invite her to the opening of a new Roblox mall that that will be opened very very soon. Once again, Foden from the Foden Fan Group of Companies trying to date Kanda Wanda. Okay, okay. Anyway, moving on to the what in some other news. Okay, I think we're running out of time. Yeah, these five headlines all make sense. It's so laggy. Anyway, the Commission on Appointments of Wednesday approved the ad interim appointment and nomination of 32 generals, flag officers, and senior officers of the Armed Forces of the Philippines. The following appointees and nominees gained the powerful congressional body's approval. There is Australia as to the rank of Major General, Joseph Flores to the rank of Colonel Philippine Army, Fernando Reyeg to the rank of Lieutenant General, Angelo Guzman to the rank of Colonel Philippine Army, Gustavo Caluya Jr. to the rank of Commodore, and among others, so much listed here. Again, that's 32 generals considered to be having the approve of the ad interim appointment and nomination. All of these 32 are from the flag and senior officers of the AFP, or Armed Forces of the Philippines. President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. denies that he is sick amid the rumors that he had a medical emergency. Marcos said in a chance interview on the sidelines of a situation briefing in Camp Aguinaldo in Quezon City, "It's totally and completely fake. I do not even have a cold. I do not have anything wrong with me. I'm fine." Marcos reminded the public to be wary of the fake news, adding that such information should only be sourced from credible sources. He asked, "Do I look sick?" That's what we have to watch out for, fake news like that, he said. According to Marcos, he was in Malacanang for almost the entire day on Tuesday as he conducted a command conference and spent the rest of the day reading his briefs and doing paperwork. He said he was just surprised when the said report, the said misleading report, was a medical emergency. Meanwhile, on the same day, he also said that there are no politics involved in the budget deliberations on the 2025 budget of the Office of the Vice President, disputing VP Sara Duterte's claim. President Marcos said, "I don't know where all of that came from. This is a budget hearing. This is something that every single government agency has to do. It's a hearing. There's no politics in it. We do it every year. We do it with the same department. That process is well established. It has nothing to do with politics. It has to do with the budget," he added. According to Marcus, the budget deliberations in Congress it's its way of information gathering so that they will know what the budget will look like. So he said, he also said, "I don't know how she can characterize these things. It is far from politics. The OVPs will propose 2.037 billion, 2 billion and 37, whatever. 2.037 billion budget for fiscal year 2025 is currently facing heavy scrutiny before the Congress. House of Representatives has even deferred the OVP budget's deliberations after Duterte refused to answer the queries from lawmakers about how her office uses its budget. In the Senate, there was a heated exchange between Duterte and Senator Risa Hontiveros after the latter questioned the OVP's requested 10 million allocation for the publication of the Vice President's self-authored children's book, Isang Kaibigan, with the former claiming that the OVP budget was being politicized. Well, speaking of the COA or the Commission on Audit, the government agency has ordered the Department of Education to immediately remit to the government some 12.3 billion pesos from the 2023 budget that was suspended and disallowed due to the agency's failure to adhere to certain bidding processes and meet its targets for various projects. Based on its audit report on DepEd for 2023, the last full year of Vice President Sara Duterte as the head of the agency, state auditors issued notices of suspension amounting 10.1 billion pesos, notices of disallowance totaling 2.2 billion, and notices of charges worth 7.38 million due to non-compliance with existing laws and regulations in the implementation of several banner projects. Its review on the enforcement of the notices of suspensions, disallowances, and charges found that the total flag amount, which amount accounted for only 1.7% of the 710.6 billion pesos budget allocated to DepEd last year, quote unquote, remained unsettled despite an acknowledgement from DepEd officials that it would turn over the funds in question. The state auditors noted in a report we recommended and the management agreed to cost the immediate settlement of the suspensions, disallowances, and charges in accordance with the revised RRSA or the Rules and Regulations on Settlement of Accounts. Under the COA's RRSA, a disallowance refers to the audit of disbursements and transactions that were thumbed down in whole or in part. Suspensions, on the other hand, are temporary disallowance of transactions presenting doubtful legality, validity, or propriety until the liable agencies can justify or meet the requirements in the course of the auditing. Specific agency officers, meanwhile, receive notices of charge when there is an amount assessed, billed, or collected that is less than what is due to the government. State auditors also found lapses in the handling, recording, and reporting of cash transactions in various regional offices, and the accumulation of unliquidated cash advances that were either not authorized or had no specific purpose, amounting to nearly 7 billion pesos in violation of the COA rules they had recommended and management had agreed. and ma- and- okay, they had recommended and that concerned DepEd officers halt the practice of granting additional cash advances, especially when the liquidation of fast transactions is not yet completed. The COA said the salaries of the concerned accountable officers should also be withheld, among other penalties, until such time that they have fully liquidated or settled their liabilities. Among the projects tagged by the COA for non-compliance were the DepEd's computerization program, which had only a 23.3% budget utilization rate, the Last Mile Schools program, where the construction of classrooms in far-flung schools had a completion rate of only 3%, and the delay and inefficiencies in the implementation of the Basic Education Facilities Fund and the School-Based Feeding Program. According to the COA report, DepEd had also had a zero accomplishment rate in its computerization project due to the central office inability to complete the procurement process for 2023. These deficiencies, it added, took a hit on the DepEd's program to enhance the Filipino students' information and communication technology competencies. For its Last Mile Schools program, the COA cited a status report of DepEd's Education Facilities Division that showed only 3 out of the 93 intended classrooms were completed in 2023. 69 were ongoing and the remaining 21 were still under bidding. Last Mile Schools are makeshift classrooms in geographically isolated and disadvantaged areas that were revamped into standard ones to ensure quality learning for students. From 2018 to 2023, DepEd's program for the repair and rehabilitation of school buildings, called the Basic Education Facilities Fund, also suffered from poor implementation, deficiencies in the electrification of facilities, and lapses in the inspection, delivery, and safekeeping of procured school furniture. For DepEd's school-based feeding program, the COA said that the agency's commitment to providing good nutrition to learners was not optimally achieved because of the delays in the regular and milking feeding components in 21 schools division offices, failure to abide by the technical requirements of the project, and the non-programming of unutilized funds. Well, to cap up, Chris Aquino's fans were delighted after seeing the Queen of all media in the good spirits and looking forward to come home in the Philippines. In the video stated, shared by Juan Kimura Bernabe on her Instagram page, Aquino said, is it jelly, as in jelly beans, or jealous?" She said she's finding for a bracelet, but as you can see, a super teeny tiny. So she said, "Give me a good price when we go home." Fans then flocked to the comment section to admire Aquino and thank Bernabe as well for sharing the video. Aquino's ex-boyfriend, Batangas Vice Governor Mark Leviste, also gushed over the Queen of all media by sending heart eyes emoji. He said, Instagram user Melvilla50 said, "I'm happy you are getting better now. Good to see you. I'm always waiting for your post. Chris is still one of a kind. Her kakikayan is positive in all aspects. Chris will always be Chris. She is an icon. One at Lakbay with Nikki said. Aquino is currently in the United States for her medical treatments for her autoimmune diseases. She earlier disclosed that she might be cleared to return to the Philippines before Christmas this year if her medical tests yield favorable results. And coming up on Cool FM, we tuloy-tuloy pa rin ang ating tugtugan at rakrakan kasama si GDG dito sa Rock Weekdays. It is I think I lost my mic. So it is now 14:29 p.m. My mic is lost throughout the program. And coming up next is Rock Weekdays with GDG. Tuloy-tuloy pa rin ang ating tugtugan dito sa Cool FM. I'm Stephen Nawanig Dosol, and take care and God bless the Philippines. Good afternoon.